so long it's like alchemy.
Steph finds himself in the armpit of California on a Friday night, Sacramento. The only time I like to go through there is when I'm on my way to Tahoe. Bogdan Bogdanovic, though, had it rolling early. Josh Jackson out of North Carolina, corner three. And this lowly Sacramento team, they're young, but they play hard, and they jumped all over the champs early on. Look at JaVale in the game early. The bench was depleted. The rim roll, no, it's Steph with the left hand. But don't let these highlights fool you, man. 25 turnovers from the champs. There's a precision lob to KD. Then the youngster Jakar Sampson, so happy to be in the league. KD's like, sit down, be humble. The floor monster gets him at the Golden Center. And then this is something we've seen a lot more of late. It's the Steph KD pick and roll, and it's the most efficient pick and roll in the game today. The hezzy and the easy scoop and finish for Steph. But some of his other drives, I don't know. He was suspect finishing at the basket in this game. De'Aaron Fox, he's just a little overzealous. He doesn't know how to control his speed yet, but he doesn't hang his head. You're going to see Steph hide behind the double screen for his third three of the night. But like I said, finishing at the basket, playing a little bit too slow, a little bit too relaxed, allowed Sacramento to hang in this. Patrick McCall, he played in this game. Yeah, he did. Here we go out in transition. Caspi, you going to stop ball? Not really. Buddy Hield with the layup. Sacramento in this thing. And then look at the Black Napoleon Dynamite hustle. Another breakaway. Dunk that thing. No, he's a shooter. But my real question is, does he even really need that nose? I ain't never seen him with his mouth closed. KD 6 of 7 from downtown. And this one, the dagger, Golden State finishes him. What's going on? All right, we saw the Utah game, and people are like, what? 25 turnovers. I think they set a season high in the NBA, 9 turnovers in a quarter. I believe that was the second. What's happening is, so those of you at work, you know that week before Christmas break, that's what's happening. Those of you still in school, kids, you know that final week before the 2 weeks off, right? And you can't get nothing done. Everybody's focus is somewhere else and is on vacation and on time off. And that's real. That's what's happening. I know you probably want like a more complicated reason, but I don't have one for you. It's just simply they're distracted. Now, how it unfolds on the floor is they're moving slower. You watch them. They had plenty of looks at the rim, layups, right? And they're moving, I'd say, instead of moving at like a 80 or 90% speed, they're moving at like 60, 70% speed. And where you see that affected is in the passing, and it messes with your rhythm, right? So especially at the rim, if you're moving a little bit too slow, you don't have your normal velocity to finish around the rim. And the timing of a pass or off a curl or a cut, it's a little off because you're moving a little slow. So it started off with Golden State being very sloppy. And then Sacramento, this young team, realized like, yo, they're coughing it up. And then they fed into it, and it turned up their defense, right? And they've got a lot of young, long athletes. And so then they started to create a little bit of turnovers. Now, the other thing that you need to take into account is there was no Andre Iguodala. And that's huge as far as ball control and ball security. He is the adult in the room, as Steve Kerr calls him, right? He calms things down. He wasn't there. No David West, no Sean Livingston. So you saw the rotations were different. You had groups of players on the floor that aren't normally playing together. So that had to do with some of these early turnovers. But it really, again, it boils down to just being dialed in and a lack of focus. Kevin Durant, 6 of 7 from downtown, 33 points. And it took until about the second half, but then he got it going. He had a couple heat check threes, and he really carried us offensively, just getting outside buckets. But, you know, he had 5 turnovers. Steph had 5 turnovers or 6 turnovers. It was very, very inefficient. Now, with the most of our bench out, that led to a different rotation, like I mentioned. Zaza played 21 minutes and was excellent. I believe he had like 13 rebounds, 8 or 9 points, a ton of offensive rebounds. I had no complaints about Zaza. He really elevated his game. He knew we needed a little more from him, right? JaVale McGee got in the game, and he's earning himself some minutes, man. He even had a flat-footed block. I never thought I'd see the day where JaVale didn't leap. He just used his size and blocked a shot. And the numbers may not tell the story with JaVale, but he was excellent. Swaggy hit some threes, and he hit some timely ones. Y'all saw me complaining about him pretty much all season long, right? He hasn't hit timely threes. Someone asked me, yo, Alk, why you say he ain't making his threes? Well, his numbers are a little deceiving. He's hit most of his shots when we don't need him in garbage time. He hasn't had very many in meaningful minutes. Tonight he did, I believe, 12 off the bench for Nick. Now, the disappointments, Patty Mayo. Yeah, I'm going to call him Patty Mayonnaise. Shout out Doug Funny. But Patrick McCall, he seems to be wilting, man. He's wilting. He knew he was going to play heavy minutes in this game. He knows we need him. He's giving every opportunity in the world, and he's shy. He doesn't want to shoot the ball anymore. He's shying away at the. I don't know what to say, man. He's really fading. A stint in the G League, because we did see for about 50 seconds Damian Jones get on the floor and go out and guard somebody on the perimeter. And I was kind of low-key excited to see him up with the big squad, right? So Caspi struggled as well. I was talking to my daughter about this, and you were saying, she was like, well, you said Caspi's good. And Caspi had been good for us, right? So he got sick. He had back spasms, chipped up the back, and he was out for a while, right? So I gave him a pass for about 10 days. I was like, all right, he let him find his rhythm, find his legs again. But it seems like he still hasn't gained his confidence back from the stretch of play we saw in the beginning of the season from him. And that's a little baffling because he is such a veteran. So, those two need to get it together. The silver lining, the bright spots again were McGee and Zaza. Now, from Sacramento's perspective, why King? I know, we got some Kings fans maybe checking out this channel. Why do y'all play Zebo so much? I guess, why even try to win a game? I like Josh Jackson, kid and play, right, with them meaty-ass eyelids, but he has that crazy floater game. He has a legit, long-range, push shot floater, right? And he's just kind of an awkward athlete. And De'Aaron Fox is a ways away. He's very left-hand dominant around the basket, but I like his tenacity, his aggressiveness. And, I just don't know why you play Zebo and Vince so much. I understand them being on the team, but, I don't know what Yager is trying to do, if he's trying to keep his job. What are they trying to do in Sacramento, man? So I don't know. This Denver game, I try not to do this because y'all say I call this too much. I'm not even calling it a trap game. I'm calling this a loss tomorrow night in Denver, Saturday night, because I think they're going to be distracted. And hopefully they're not distracted against OKC. I think they will have their attention, but I don't think Denver's going to get their attention. I really don't. And I think on the back end of a back-to-back in Denver with the depleted bench, I think the Nuggets are going to get the win tomorrow night. Let's just hope they're woke for OKC Tuesday. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.